the publications of Poets and Writers, and the sense that it talked about both very well-established writers and also how people could start to make those first steps into publishing, was incredibly important to me as a young person. And I also felt a sense of connection with it. You know, you could sign up, you could get information, these packets and pamphlets would come in the mail, and it was a way of beginning to feel that you were a writer and a step towards a certain kind of legitimacy. I think that the key things that Poets and Writers does, first and foremost, my sense of it these days, is both on the web and in the magazine, is it provides an enormous amount of information. And it gives a sense of that national community. It also gives a sense of what the opportunities are in terms of everything from contests, writing programs, agenting, everything that a writer at multiple levels might be interested in doing. You can find something out about it from Poets and Writers. Plus, I don't know if you can still do it, but you used to be able to call Poets and Writers and ask for, 5 addresses and phone numbers. Hi, I'm looking for Robert Stone. Hi, Grace Paley. I know she passed away, but how do I get in touch with her estate? I still want to know another story. How do you find these people? And it's not always easy to find writers. Writers hide. They are very much a kind of a hidden source of activity in the culture, but they're not always visible. And I think that's one of the things Poets and Writers does incredibly well. It passes along information. Really one of the key things that Poets and Writers does, which is that it is thoughtful information, it is curated information, it is information that has already been in many ways tested and known to be useful and of importance to writers. So it is a central place to go for that information. We have enormous numbers of sources for information. We're all constantly Googling everything, including ourselves. But I think importantly, Poets and Writers is a hub, and it is a place to go for information that has been sorted already, that has been time tested, that has been very carefully and thoughtfully curated and assembled because it's known to be good information and useful information to writers. So it is really an organizational center, I think, and in many ways now offers people places to go from there and ways sort of in through the Poets and Writers site and out into the world still. I think one of the things that Poets and Writers does an incredibly good job of in the articles in the magazine and on the website is disseminating a lot of information about all kinds of opportunities, whether it is a chance to teach in an unusual place, a way to set up a website, which is a piece I wrote at one point for you guys, but it's also a chance to sort of get a sense of how to participate in your community. And I think, first and foremost, one of the things, and I remember this as a very young writer, is it gave me lots of ideas. I mean, honestly, just reading the magazine and going through it, and whether it was a writing program in Maine or an article about a writer who was not just publishing their first collection, but also did something else on the side that was interesting, it's a way of generating thought about writing and conversation about writing. And I think that's one of the things that, when you work in isolation, is the hardest thing to do independently.